Hello, welcome to Can I Cook It? I'm Matt, and today we're going to do a two-parter. The plan is to make strawberry pie, but I want to have the full experience. So I'm going to try to attempt to make pie crust, which I heard is pretty difficult to make. So we're going to start really basic. Right? I'm going to use a recipe that a friend of mine introduced to me, so that we can, get started. So here's a list of ingredients that we need to make. So what we need is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 cups of butter, and 5 to 7 teaspoons of cold water. Now that we have the ingredients listed, now we got to decide if I can cook this. Let's find out. So, the next thing we're going to do is pour the flour in the mixing bowl and with the butter. So let's just get the flour out right now. Okay. Okay. And then after that, we're just going to put some butter in here. With stuff like this, it's going to be only 2.5 sticks of butter. And then the next thing is that we are going to use this cutter to cut the butter and the flour together. So I'm just going to cut this up. So we needed all this flour and butter up so they can have this kind of consistency. So this is what it's supposed to look like as of right now. So the next thing we have to do is add a teaspoon of salt. This one right here, and we scoop this up. Make sure there's not too much oil, and pour it in there. And so we're going to add 5 to 7 tablespoons of water. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to knead a little bit more. Mix all the water, the salt, the butter, and flour all together until it becomes like a big ball. So now that this is getting a little bit more and more cluttered up, we're going to use a spatula instead. Or like one spoon or whatever. And we're going to do more of this until it becomes more and more combined. Fold. So we're going to fold it in and push. We're going to fold it in, push. Alright, so now that this is all, so we're just going to make this into a ball to get ready for the next phase. But I'm going to use my hands this time because we're getting really close. Now we're going to sprinkle some flour on the table and on the ball, like just enough for sprinkling so that there's like a surface area here. Smooth it out a bit, spread out. So let's continue kneading the dough right now. So put some more pressure. We need to get rid of all these little cracks, in this thing. So, not sure if I'm making any progress with this. So, I actually have a friend of mine that's helping me explain the recipe and also the technique. Marcello. This is Marcello. He's a friend of mine, and he'll explain what is the proper technique for kneading this this dough?
Well, Matthew, first you want to cover your hands a little bit, make sure that you don't get it as sticky as possible. And with the dough, you want to just literally just pound in on it like this. Really add some strength to it. You want to mold it together till it's all in one thing. It's a kneading process, but it's also a process of really adding a lot of your weight. You want to almost put your whole body into it. It's hard to explain usually because yeah, you can only say yeah, you just knead it, but a lot of people don't really understand that it's almost a whole adding of the entire spirit of a person into making the dough, and I'm not even joking.
Not even joking.
Not even joking. So if you wanna give it a try, just go ahead and really push into it, and it's just play with it almost. That's the best way to do it. Then afterwards, I mean, honestly, you can even do right now. You can take this right here, right?
Yeah.
You can do this right here. Just take a little bit of that, and you spread it along. You spread it along your rolling pin, and then a little bit on top where you're gonna roll. The idea is you're putting as much pressure as you can on the pie crust itself, so that, as you can see, it's slowly starting to get rid of it, and you just keep folding it. It's a process, and like I said, it's hard to explain in a few words without actually doing it in the moment.
Sounds like you should be the one hosting this show.
No, don't say that. I've done this long time, but this is not what I do.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Alright, so next we're gonna cover this in some flour, and the idea is you want to make sure that this doesn't get stuck on this bad boy right here, because when it gets stuck, you're gonna have to clean it, and it's gonna be a real headache. You gotta clean it at the end, but it won't be as bad, trust me. And you also want to make sure when you're rolling it to take a little bit off the table at least, and if you're running low, you want to just come over, you want to just come over to the side over there where you got your flour or wherever it is. You just want to dust it almost like salt. And you just want to dust it around just like that. And the idea is to frost the table and just give it a light frost.
Really?
Yeah, you just want to do that. And you just want to make sure that you have this and this as comfortable as possible with a nice little dust of frost, almost like a powdered sugar, like you're adding it to a cake or something. And then you start rolling it out like that. You want to move it in different directions, because if you do it one way, then it's going to just go and be this long thing. Whereas with this, if you're rolling it in different directions, you have it expanding in different directions, so you don't have to worry about it becoming just a long line. So you're drawing it out. But of course, we're not going to do that today because we want to make sure it's prepared for freezing. So what you want to do is you want to do this right here. I'm going to push it together. You want to make it into a nice little, almost like a hamburger patty, a really big one, and just dust over the top with the flour, just like that. Take it, make sure it doesn't stick, nice and soft over that way. Do it like so, and now that you have it just dusted enough, you want to take Saran wrap. Alright, so now we're back. We got a parchment paper here. We're going to take this, and we're going to put it with this, and then we're going to put it in this.
Because we're not going to bake it yet. We're actually going to bake it next episode, when we're going to do it with the strawberries.
Exactly.
Alright, nice. So that was the pie crust, at least before baking. I really thank you for Marcello for explaining the audience the details about the techniques and stuff like that. So I'm glad that you joined us. So subscribe, share. We're going to do the strawberry pie next week, and hopefully we can get something delicious going on. So we're still going to cook this or bake this, whatever you call it. See you around.